Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm going to make another mod map, just a temporary one, just to do a tutorial on the farmlands. So, hope everybody's having a wonderful day. My name's Jewel and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and X this box out, and all I did was click on the Giants editor to open it to the blank area and hit File and then New Mod from Game, and then we're going to put it on the US map and then we're going to hit OK. And I'm going to go ahead and put the title of this map as something that I would recognize to be new. So we're going to do, we'll just write farm and land 22, something like that. And then hit OK. It's going to put it in our FS mods folder. And that's in the document, so I'm going to let it do that. We'll go ahead and let it do its thing real quick. Don't click anything. Let it finish, because sometimes you can crash the editor. My computer's been being a little slow. I got to move around some files, so that's going to take it a second. I got my C drive was a little full. Alright, so now we're going to hit save. I want to go ahead and save it. Let it do its thing. Alright, so now that it's done that, I'm going to go ahead and go into the other area real quick just to open it up. We're going to make this big so we can see it better. And it's going to put the map in here. And we'll find it in here at Farmland 22. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to the editor and close this, because you can't move the map properly unless you close it. So I'm going to right click on here since it's already highlighted, and we're going to hit cut, and I'm going to go ahead and hit documents, my games. I'm double clicking all these. Double clicked Farming Sim 22, double click mods, and right click and paste it in there. Now I'm going to double click to open it all the way up until I get to map. And before we do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what you need to do for adding the farmlands and the XML stuff and all that. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and go close this down, documents down, so we can see the D drive. Now yours could be in C drive or D drive, or who knows where your farming simulator has been installed at. So that's where you're going to need to go, but I'm going to D drive, and Steam Library, double click, Steam Apps, double click, Common, double click, Farming Sim 22, double click. And if you mess up like that, just click on it again and then double click again. And then data or data, double click, and then maps, and then map US in this case. And if yours was the Alpine map, then you would do that one. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the Farmlands XML right here, and we're just going to copy it. We're not going to cut it. We need to keep it in this game. Click back on Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator 22, Mods, and back into the map you're working on. Open it all the way up back to here. Right click, click Paste. Now we're going to go and look ahead at where we're at. We're in Maps, Map US, Farmlands.xml. That's where this that we just put in here is. That's our path. We need to go under map.xml, right click, edit with Notepad++, find the farmlands.xml, and you can see it's pointing to the main game one. We need to put the cursor behind the /, take it away all the way up until there. Take away the $, all of it, and leave it there. Maps, Maps US, Farmlands.xml. If your Farmlands.xml is in another area and it doesn't say Maps, Maps US, maybe it says Maps, Maps US, and something else, and then the Farmlands, you put what yours says. That's what you put here, and then you hit save. Okay, now we're going to go back into the File Explorer, and we're going to click on the Farmlands, and we're going to right click and hit edit with Notepad++. We're going to come in here and do the same for this, and I'll show you where it's at in just a moment, but we're going to take away the / and the data, and it's going to say maps, maps US, data, info layer, farmland.grle. We're going to go back and show you in the File Explorer. If you go under maps, maps US, we're already there, data, and then you come info layer farmland GRLE. So that's the path. Maps, Maps US data, info layer farmland. So wherever your info layer farmland is, that's the path you need to put in that farmland.xml. So we're going to go back to it, and your farmlands.xml, right click, edit with Notepad++, wherever your info layer for your farmland is, you would put that path. So we're good there. Now we're going to hit save. Now we're going to come back to here in a minute, but first we're going to go in there and look at the info layers. And we're going to go ahead and just show you briefly. This is the default farm property, and it's saying farmland 1, okay? And then you got farmland 11 does the BGA, and it's the farmland bought via placeable. So basically the farmland is bought via the placeable, meaning through the placeable. You buy the placeable, you get the farmland. It doesn't show on the farmland screen. It says false. Okay, so, and it has a 0 price scale because of what it is. It's not going to be something we're buying the placeable. We're paying for that. So they're saying we don't have to pay for the land, the farmland, because we bought the placeable. It's included, so to speak. There also are other options with this. If you go into, I guess I'll show you real quick. Keep it brief. Alright, we'll go back into D and Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, FS22, all double clicks, Data. Then you're going to go under Placeables, Plan Plan ET. And here we go. BGA 1MW is the one for the US map that they're referring to. If you double click on it, you can see the XML. You can left click on it, then right click on it, edit with Notepad++. And if you'll look in here, it tells you about it here under the base area. It says can be renamed true, buys farmland true, and can be deleted false. Okay, so it's basically saying this placeable buys the farmland. So when you buy the placeable, from my understanding, you buy the farmland. So it says true. Otherwise it would say false or what have you. Now I'm going to go back and show you the other ones briefly. We'll back up one and open up another one. And you can come in here and go under this XML and see that it says something, should say something different. Yeah, this one says placeables can be renamed true, but it says bought with farmland true. So basically when you buy the farmland, you get the placeable, from my understanding. So that's how you would set it up or path it or write it to do what you want it to do for a BGA or so on. So that, I hope that makes sense. And the rest of them say similar things. There is 2 that don't say anything. I'll go to those real quick just to show you, give you a little idea. The silo, the bunker silo, and the BGA hall, they don't do that. They don't show that. They just show that it's a placeable. So you don't have that. It's just i3D. It doesn't show any of the other information in regard to that. So we're good there. I'm just going to go on back. That's just a little heads up so you understand that what those little things are. I'm going to go back and reiterate real quick. Let me get back in there. Takes a second. Alright, mods, back to the map, back to here, back to here. Alright, so now you understand a little more about this line here. So you can take this line and make it say what you need it to say, whether it be true, that it shows or doesn't show. You can make it say how it's purchased, like basically how you do it. This is just for your information, this little green area here. This is really what's telling it to do it. This is just telling you what it's doing. But anyway, we're going to go ahead, and as you can see, we got 62 farmlands in here, and number 1 is our default property. So let's go on in to the map itself and open it. Let's go back to here, and we're going to double click on the map you're working on, open it up, and I'm going to do it in the other version for now because I can't update right now. So I'm going to go ahead through and X that out. Now I'm going to back out of the screen, get a big view of this area here. Let's go over a little bit, see what kind of view I can get. Alright, a little bit better. Alright, so now what we're going to do is set up our farmlands and change from number one, this is number one, this area here for our regular fields in Elm Creek, that's the base game fields we start out with. We're going to change that, and we're going to make it this field here next to it, just for tutorial purposes. So what I'm going to do is a couple of things. There's a couple of ways you can do this. I'll tell you one, I'll do the other. I don't want to do both because I don't want the video too long. But basically what you're going to do is roll down. You can put your brush on whatever you want. I usually do square on a lot of this, and then sometimes put it on round. We'll go ahead and put the radius up to 1300. We'll roll on down to farmland. Alright, so what you want to do, if you're just wanting to change the field you start with and nothing more, and you want to leave all these fields the same and all the farmlands the same, but all you want to change is you don't want to start on those fields, you want to start on this field or another field. What you're going to do is leave everything the way it is, except you're going to change the information, and then you're going to paint that field. So I guess I should roll back in so you can, let's go on into this field so we can see it. So you're going to change the information in the XML to this one, but we need to find out which one it is. So we're going to click on Terrain Info Layer Paint Mode, and you see which one it is. And I guess I'll roll this back down for a minute till I get ready. So put it back on like 20. Alright, so we're going to hit Control R over the top of this to find out which farmland it is. Alright, so it just highlighted it. We'll scroll down over here in the scene graph, and it says 14, farmland 14. So now we know which one we want to be our default farm property, meaning our starting farm. Okay, so now if you go back and you click off of here and lift it up a little, click back on it. If you'll click Control R, R as in Richard, you'll see that this one is farmland 1, and that's where it's set currently to the default. So we want 14, so we'll go back to 14, and we don't have to even paint it. Okay, if you're wanting to keep everything they've done, except all you want to do is change it, you can do it. So we're gonna, you found out you need farmland 14 changed. You're gonna go back to your farmlands XML, right click, edit with Notepad++. You're going to highlight the default farm property true, just this information, and you're going to cut it. Okay, and you're going to backspace once to line that back up with them. See, it's the cursor. Backspace it. Okay, so find 14, come over to here, click it right in front of there, and paste it. And then you're going to space one time to fix that, the distance. And then you're going to hit save. Alright. So now all you've done is put your property at a different place, but it won't show. It'll show it. It'll work in game, except for it won't do the. It will not do the field. Like the worker won't work on it, and you can't work on it yet because you got one more step. So we're going to turn off the info layer. We're going to roll where we can see this field, and now we're going to roll up to this area and hit Terrain Detail, and then we're going to put it on ground type, harvest ready, because we're going to do this field harvest. You could do other things they have here, but we're going to do harvest ready, and we're going to put it on limit to texture, dirt, and then we're going to come over here and paint this down. Okay, and what that did is when you put a limit to texture for dirt, it only painted it on dirt. Okay, so it made it easy to paint this without trying to get in the lines and do all that. Okay, if you didn't do that, it wouldn't have done that. You would have just had to do all free-handed and figure out, scroll this down and work hard. Okay, now we're going to go click on Terrain Detail Height, open it up again, put it on wheat, click on the layer state, and then go to harvest ready. Okay, you couldn't use the others, but we're wanting to be able to harvest this. So now I'm going to add this. And I did. Now look, you see it went out of line? It went out of lines. Why did it go out of lines? Because I didn't put it on the limit to texture, the dirt. So we're going to hit undo, undo. Alright, I actually went all the way. So we got to paint the other again. Let's go back. Train detail, harvest ready. I did 2 clicks. I could do undo, but alright, see, it did it again. So let's undo it. We got to put it on the dirt. That's important. So that's going to show you how to do that. Alright, so that was good. Now you understand what's wrong whenever it's not working for you. You didn't put it on dirt. Okay, and now we'll roll up again, put it on terrain detail height, put it on dirt. It's on dirt. Click it again, go to wheat in this case. Alright, click it on harvest ready under the layer state, and now it paints it in the lines because we have it only to go to dirt. Alright, make sure you get all of this area, and then you're going to hit save. And now when we go in game, it's going to only let this be our field. We won't be owning this field anymore, and all these will be fine. You don't have to do nothing with them. They work okay. And then we'll go on in game and show it real fast. I'm going to do it real quick, and then I'll do the other. We'll be working on fields, but since this has already got all the fields, we don't need to work with it right now. So hopefully this loads quickly. And go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow. I appreciate all the new subscribers. The channel is really growing quickly, and I do thank you so much. I appreciate every single subscriber. Stay tuned for more tutorials, and I'm going to be doing more work on my map, Jules Peaceful Valley, and I will be doing the simulator games as soon as possible. Alright, and now we're going to hit escape, and we're going to back out so we can see what's going on. Hit farmland, and now you see farmland 14 is the one we own, and it says sell. That means we own it, see, and it shows that field. If you had not painted that stuff in the field, like the what I did first on the ground, and then the harvest wheat stalks, you would not be able to see this field right now. And if you see a red area here inside this blue, it's because you didn't paint it down. Okay, so now you can see this one says buy, where we normally own it, so we don't own it now, and it tells us how much it is and everything. Of course, we don't have enough money. It's like you can't see it, 156 or what have you. Yeah, so now what we're gonna do is jump in the game real quick. Tab. I'm gonna go, well, no, let's go ahead and go back to the harvester since we did put wheat. And we'll attach this, and I'm gonna try to do it here. This is where you normally own, okay? And I'm hit hire the worker. It says no field found because we don't own that. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna walk on the field and show you. See, Leroy Wilson owns it now. Okay, so we don't own that now. We got to get out of here. So now we're gonna go to the field we set for our default farm, and now we're gonna go. We'll be able to harvest, and you'll see the field and everything. Okay. Now we're going to come to the field. This is our field. I'm going to hit H to hire the worker, and looky here, he's going to harvest it. See? Alright, now we're going to turn him off, and we're going to hit the B to turn it on for us, and now we can harvest it. So you can see now we own this field. This is our field. Now I didn't move all the vehicles because it's just a tutorial, but you are able later, I'll show a video of that, and you'll be able to put your vehicles here too if you chose to. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. That's good there, and obviously all the rest of them are what they are. They're all whatever they were before. See, if you click on them, they're all the same. The only one's different are these two, because you know that was the default. Now this is. So there you go. You gotta paint that in there, or it won't be the field. You won't be able to do nothing on the field if you don't paint that in there. You'll be like, "What's wrong? I did it." No, you gotta paint it in there. All right. So now we're gonna get out of here and go ahead and do the other from scratch. We're gonna do farmlands from scratch. Alrighty. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is we can still say that, well, we will skip that. We'll leave that out. We're going to get out of that. Alright. Let's back on out real quick. Alright. We're going to put this on 1300 on the radius. We're going to roll down to the farmland. And we're going to put it on the blank one for now. We're going to click on every single one of these 8 little boxes here, 0 through 7. And basically that's going to make it where it's non-purchasable land, and we're going to paint the whole map in that. We're going to turn on the terrain info layer paint mode, and we're just going to go over the map and left click, and we've painted the entire map. So now we have all the pixels taken care of. There's not an empty pixel anywhere. And now we're going to jump to Farmland 1. And then we're going to roll in, because we've got to figure out where in the world we're going to put it. And we can decide that. And what you could do, if you want, you could leave it where I put it, because we just painted that. And then I don't have to paint that again. Or you can pick another spot and do the same thing I just did. Paint it just like I did. Say we picked this field, we could paint it like I did this one with all that stuff on it. And then we would put whatever field that is. So let's click on it to find out. Okay, so we already erased it, so it's not telling us. But basically, we can make the color this in, and that would be our default farm, and we would put it in the XML as such. So I guess what we'll do is add this one as our default farm again for the tutorial, you know, because we're making it from scratch. Or we could put it somewhere else. Maybe we should put it somewhere else so as to not confuse anybody. So let's put it on this field over here. And we'll have to paint that one in as well. How about that? Let's do that. Alright. So once you've painted the whole map in the non-purchasable land, we're going to put it on Farmland 1. We're going to turn on the info layer paint mode. And we're going to bring our brush size down quite a bit to 20 or so. Get it down. Alright. So now we're going to paint in this field here. Now you got to be very careful where you're painting. So I'm going to paint like such. Right there. And I'm just left clicking. I'm going to lower this not to get out of that corner there. And we'll just paint it here. I'm just going to get it approximate. Going over here. It ain't got to be perfect, at least not for a tutorial. I'm not going to try to be perfect. I don't have time for perfect right now. Alright. But on yours you can be very specific. Make sure you get everything, all those pixels filled in for your farm. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to roll this up and get this little corner here a little bit more. And like I say, I'm not going to do it perfectly. Just get the basics of it. And you can paint your road areas if you wanted to be able to plow certain areas. You can go out into the road area just in front of your land or whatever you want to do. If you want to just be able to plow that road in front of your property or whatever. Or if you wanted to plow every single road, you could paint them all with one of these, like that you buy or that you have as your main one, but it's going to make the price go up. But depending on what you start out as, new farmer, or the second one or the third one where you start from scratch, it would change that according to that, and the price would cost a lot more because you're putting way more ground in that field area or farmland area. So right now we have this is Farmland 1, and this is going to be our default farm. So now we're going to roll on down to Farmland 2, pick it, and now we're going to just say this next one is Farmland 2. So we're going to roll over so we can see better and turn back on info layer. And now we're just going to make this bigger so we can go a little quicker. And we're just going to pick where we're going to paint, and I'm going to put it right up against that one. I'll try to roll it down a little. Alright. So that's going to be farmland 2. So I'm going to put right up against this all the way out. Okay. And I could always, if you want to get, say, fill that out, the rest of that in, come over here onto this one, hit Control R, and it'll pick that one. And then you can come up here and get a little bit better close to this up here, make it a little more neat. You know, you get the point. And if you don't like that jumping over in there, you can fix that. But either way you do it, you got to change it back to each side. So go back to this side, hit Control R, and fix that from this side. Don't hit subtract and don't do undo, because it'll mess you up. You don't want to do that. You want to use Control R and get the other side. But anyway, you get the point. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter if it's not lined up, as long as you got your field covered. Alright, so now we're going to go to Farmland 3. And I'm probably not going to do every single one of these on screen. I may fix that. Let me fix that real quick. That's not far enough over. I like it to touch the other one, but you do have the other one painted down under it, so you would be fine, but I like it to do that. Okay, there we go. So, and obviously you can do whatever you need to do to fix it, like so. And it's not going to be perfect. Alright, good enough. Alright, so now we're going to go to Farmland 3, and we'll paint this one. I'll just get over here somewhere kind of close and go up. And I'm not going to make it perfect because it'll take too long. And get up to this one. And what I'm going to probably do off screen real quick is paint the rest of them in and then come back, because it's going to take too long to do what I want to do to show you on video. So, but basically that's going to be its own little area. Okay, and I'm keeping the fields, but if you made your fields, you would be going over your fields. Okay, so 4, we'll go to Farmland 4, and you can pick where you want. You could put Farmland 4 to be this one and this one. So if you want that, then that's what you do. That's how you paint it. So you just come here and you say, well, I want that to be all of that. So you come in and you paint all that up to there. Get right up to it. And if it goes over, you can always jump on the other side and fix it if you don't like it, however you want to do it. And then go back to this one and say you want it to go all the way and get this extra field in there. Now, I'm not going to do it perfect, like I said. This is a tutorial, so alright, I'm just hurrying. Alright, so we will jump back on here and get these fields back in there, though. We will do that. Okay, Control R on this one, put the field back in, and we'll fix it, don't worry. Get this one, roll it in a little bit. And you can see it's pretty easy to fix whatever you mess up on, so don't worry. You can get this one even if you mess up and you don't like that being out there and you want the road non-viable, keep it white under it. And now we can click back on here and touch this corner up, and as you can see, now that one is number 4 and it's all that. And you can come over here and touch this up a hair there, and this one can come over here and do this like so. And you're going to just go on down the line. You're going to go back to your last one and see, and then go to 5 and so on, and you're going to paint them all in. So I'm going to catch you in a minute while I paint all these in, and that's all I'm going to do is be painting each one. I'm going to go down to 6, paint another one, 7, paint another one, 8, paint another one, paint another area, and then I'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, I've gotten a little further. I just want to show you my progress. As you can see, got a lot more to go. Just doing it roughly here. Alright, so let's show you a little more. We're working on this one, so we're going to turn this back on. We're going to click on Control R for this one to see what it was. 22. We're going to go to 23, and now we're going to paint this area. So we're just going to paint it down, and you can be a lot neater than I'm being. I'm just trying to hurry for a tutorial. And I'm gonna get this whole section here and leave the rest as is. Alrighty. And you don't have to have a field on there. You can do areas without a field for farmland. You don't have to have a field there. Okay, so now we're going to go to 24. Just keep going down the line, and if you can't see what you want to see, turn it off. Look, turn it back on. You know, you can get up closer, but I'm just staying back because I don't need to get too close. I can see enough of what I need. Alright, make sure you fill it all in. Turn it off again. Check it. Alright, we're going to do this one. It's 25. Turn it back on. And obviously we're going to do it here, all the way to here. And you can leave the roads if you don't want them, if you don't want them purchasable. It really depends on how you want your map. It's all that matters is what your map wants it to be. So, and if you mess up, come over here and click on that with Control R. Touch it up. Go back to the one you were on so you know where you were. Go to 26, and then we'll come over here and fill this field in here. And we're getting there. I'm gonna probably do some more off screen and then turn this off if you need to look, make sure it looks good. We got a little out of kilter there, so we're gonna fix that. So we're gonna grab this one, get it off of that corner there, and check it again. I think that'll be halfway good. We need to get this one and make this go up a little like that, and I'll catch you in a minute. As you can see, I've gotten a little bit further. See, got to do this area, so I'm plotting out this one. We're going to be checking and see where we were last. 42, so we should be on 43. Alright, and now we're just going to fill in this whole area here, right there approximately. We'll have to look at it again and see. Turn this off. Okay, that's good enough. As you can see what I'm doing, I gave that both fields. Now we'll go to 44, and I'm going to give this one 44. And you just roll in as close as you need to tell where in the world to paint. If you need to get closer, you can. And remember, I'm just doing this roughly. You're going to want to get it a lot neater than I'm doing. 45. Whoops. 45. Come on. Okay, 44 is not. Okay. Now this one's going to be 45. Alright. And 46. We'll put here. And we'll just add in the rest of that with it. And come off the edge a little bit. Alright. So now we'll turn this off and have a look. Alright, so we added all that with that. Now we need these two. So we'll go to 47. And we'll pick this one. And we'll start here. Paint this one in. And this is roughly, obviously you can come over here, get here if you need to. Fix it, Control R back on here. And now we'll go to 48. And we'll paint here. And I'm just doing this roughly. And we'll check it again, turn this off. Good enough. And we'll paint this one 49. We're just giving it something different than what it was to show in the tutorial. And we'll just paint all this right here for this one. Make sure you get all the little pixels on the field. We'll go to 50, and then we'll come out of this so we can see. Now you can paint other areas, but for now we're just going to stay with this. Like you don't have to have a field in it, but we're going to go on over here because we need to move on. Alright, so now we're going to paint this one 50. And that'll be here, and it ain't got to be perfect. I'm just showing you the basics. I don't have time to do it perfectly. Alright, so there was 50. We'll go to 51. As long as we got the field in there, I'm happy. Alright, so now we're going to move on to another one. Move over here. Alrighty. So 51 is going to be this one. Excuse me. And we'll just do this one here. And you notice I'm trying to just keep that filled in there. If you look at it. Just that. Okay. Now we're going to do this one as 53. Or 2, excuse me. Believe. So let's do it real quick. Make sure you fill it all in. Alright, so now we have 3 more, or we have 2 more, 62 and 63. Now you can take and make this a farmland. It doesn't have to have any fields on it, so we're going to do that. We'll just say right up to there, and we'll say it goes like that. And we'll make this a little bigger and fill it in. Alright. Fill it all in really nicely. Good. Now go to 63. And if you want, you can pick another spot. Look at your map. See if there's anywhere else that you need that. And I'm going to say I want to keep all that non-viable. So we're just going to stick it over here. Or we could stick it here actually. Maybe back out a little. Turn it back on. We can put this as the 63. Since this is a big area. Alright. And I ain't gonna make it perfect. I'm just wanting the video to get through. So you get the point. Some of that's non-viable. Some of it's viable. I'll have to fix that in just a second. But you get the issue with it. There we go. I'm gonna leave some of them trees non-viable just for this to get through. Alright, and get it all in there real good. And we're gonna click on here and get that fixed. Give them a little more land. Alright. And now we're going to hit save for a minute. We should be done. We did 63. That was 63. So let's click on here. Is that 63? Yes. Make sure that's it. Yep, that's it. Good. Alright. And we put our... Turn this off. We put... What did we put for farmland 1? Go back up. Alright, turn this on. Alright, this is our farmland 1, and that's where our default farm's going to be. Right next to it on the back side. We did it over here the last time, now we did it over here. Now we need to go in and paint that as I did this side. So let's do that real quick. It won't be showing up in the game, and it won't, the field won't. It'll show like you own it, but it won't say you own it. It'll just let you get on it, and it won't say you don't own it, but it won't show that you own it like in the when you stand on the field. So now we're going to go make sure you're on limit to texture dirt. Go under terrain detail, ground type. In this case I'm going to do harvest ready, and we're going to paint this on so it'll show up and let us actually harvest on it in game, and the worker will work. And we're going to put this on terrain detail height and open it, put it on wheat, and put it on layer state harvest ready. Now you can do the others, each one's a little different. Just have a little look-see at it. I have a tutorial on some of it showing you the different options, but as long as you have it on limit to texture dirt, If you didn't, you need to open it up. If it was on nothing, put it on dirt, and it'll only go on the dirt area, and it'll keep it from you from going out of the lines. Okay. All right. So now we're going to save it, and then we're going to do one more thing real quick. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit Script, Map, Create Ground Collision Map, and don't move or click nothing. It takes a second. You'll jam it all up. Leave it alone. Let it do its thing. It's going to say not responding or whatever sometimes. Just be patient. I'm not sure all the cruciality of this step, but that's what I've done, so I'm going to do it. Hit save. And now we need to know what farmland that is, because I think it's, I forgot what it was, 14, I don't know. Let me see. Roll down. I hit Control R over the top of it. Nope, it's 1. So we need to make sure default farm is on number 1. So we're going to go back under here and go back in the map you're working on, the farmlands.xml, and this default farm should be on 1, because a while ago we changed it, because we did change it to 14, remember? But now we're changing it because we started it over again and we made it from scratch. So we're going to cut it and make sure that lines up, and then come back to 1, because that's the one we chose. Now you didn't have to put it on farmland 1. I just happened to. You could have put it on any one of these farmlands as the default. So whenever you were painting, you could have just finally did 60 and said, oh well, this will be the main farm, and then put your default farm right here, paste it in there, hit make sure it's lined up the same spacing it was, and hit save, and now you're good to go. Now we're going to go on in game, and we should be all set. I don't think I forgot anything, hopefully. Let's go on in game. Hopefully this video is not too long. I wanted to show you all these little steps. If you also, after you do this, go look in the log area, because if you have errors, then you can fix them. You just read what it says and then figure it out from there. Alright, hopefully this loads. If it's stuck on 85%, you probably have a problem, and you need to hit Control-Alt-Delete and hit stop on your farming sim game, and then go under Farming Simulator and look under Documents, and look under Farming Simulator and look under the log, and edit with Notepad++ and see what error you have. Alright, and now we're going to hit Enter, or Escape rather, and have a look at the map. Hit Farmland, and I have painted all these differently, as you can see. And now that's our farm, and it says sell, meaning we could sell it, and you can see that it shows the field shape because we painted it in. Otherwise it would have been red. Now we no longer own this one that we did a while ago, and I painted this in differently. As you can see, it's a little different shape, and this one says buy now. So this is our main farm now, and as you can see the rest of it, what it looks like when you do it. Now it looks like this one didn't quite get in there right. Should have been 63, I believe, but it'll be an error that you can check if it don't do what you need it to do. I'll have to look, and this one didn't quite fully get this one filled in, so that would be a thing you could fix. That little specks, see the little specks, you can adjust those, but you can see that basically they're there. I mean, I don't think I painted that field there. I skipped a field, but you get the point. And these weren't fields, I just painted them to be like fields, but they're not fields. There was just grassland or whatever, and you can see this was how I painted it. But anyway, let's go on the map and go to here, get this, and show you that we still don't own this land, and go up. No field not owned, right? Because we don't own it anymore. Alright, and now we're going to run on. I better turn around. We'll run on over here to this field, since we put the harvest ready on there and the wheat, and we'll go over here and see if we own this field. We can see it, so we should be good. Let's go see what we can do to it. And the reason I put it so close, because that's where the equipment is. Alright, hit H, hire worker. And can he do it? Yep, and he don't throw any errors. There we go. So we turn off the worker. We're going to hit B to lower it for ourselves. Can we do it? Yes, and we can. As you can see, now we're going to jump out, look at the land. Now it says it's ours. It says you, owned by you. Now we're going to run on over to the next farm over here and see what it says. And it should say it's owned by somebody else, and so on and so forth. Apparently there's no farm over there. Let's go over here. And you can see where you own at, you know, how far out you went with it. There we go. This is Clifford Powell's property, as you can see. And so you just go back and you'll be back on your property, and so on. And then you can buy the ones, you know, that click on farmland, and you can go buy whichever one, you know, you have enough money for. And obviously I don't have much money for most of these. They're too expensive for me. But you can see that it worked. Now we could go in and see what's this problem here. I guess I'll show you a little troubleshoot. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the code. But let's go ahead and do that. But you can see that it worked. That's how you get your farmlands in there, and that's how you troubleshoot. And you want to fill in any specs, just go back in there and hit Control R on that one and fill it in where you know there's a spec. So let's get out of here. Don't want to take up too much time. And hit quit, and we'll go into the log and see what in the world has happened. Alright, and I'll go to FS22 and then down to the log and right click, edit Notepad++, and let's see what happened. Okay, let me see. These are normal things. All that's normal. That's normal. This is just the collectibles. That's always like that until you fix it when you first download a map. And everything else is good there. All good. Okay, collectible problem again. We don't need to do anything with that. Okay, so it's not showing any errors that I can see. I don't even see one other than that's collectible stuff. That's nothing to do with what I did. So I guess we're good. We don't have an error and everything should be good. But that should have been purchasable for 63. So I'm a little confused. Normally it works right, and maybe I missed something. Oh, I know what it is. I did not add it. Okay, good. And I can show you that. 63 does not exist on there. It did in my editor, but not on the Farmlands thing. So see this, we don't have a 63, but in the editor we did. I was going to show you that. I'm glad it happened that way because I forgot to show you. I was going to talk about that. So it did it for me to make sure I did it. Basically I had added this in the i3D earlier, so it stayed in here apparently. And so now we need to go in here, edit with Notepad++, copy and paste, go all the way to the end. Well, we don't want that one. Start there, go all the way to here. Right click, copy, hit at the end of this one, enter, and then put it back, cursor back at the beginning again. Right click, paste, and then change this to 63, and then hit save. And we should be good, and we'll go back in game. We should be good. Let's find the game, and we should be finished. It should show up, and hopefully that helps you understand a little something about it. But it did not throw an error for it. It just didn't count it. So when sometimes you still have an issue and you didn't even get an error. So hopefully this loads quickly. Trying to hurry. Go ahead and smash that like button, everybody. Sorry if this video is long. I wanted to show you detailed information about the farmlands. I hope this helps you make your map. I'm still working on my Joel's Peaceful Valley map, but I really wasn't ready to do farms yet. Farmlands or farm fields. So I was just like, let me show everybody how to do it so they can get to it instead of waiting on me to get to that point on my map. Alright, let me look and see if it worked any better. And now you can see Farmland 63. See? I just fixed it. It wasn't there in the XML. I had forgot to put it there. Now, let's get out of here real quick. And one last thing. And hopefully this is not going to be a crazy long video. but we'll see what we got. Alright, so when you come in here, you can add more. Supposedly, if you add more, you're supposed to go up on the channel, but apparently it didn't matter for 63. 62 was where they had it. So, supposedly you can go up to 8, probably, or you can go higher. Like, I think 7's like 120 farmlands, and then you can keep going up. But I don't want to do that. But you can add it. If you wanted to add another one, you would need to add it into the editor area. So basically what you're going to want to do is, I'll show you real fast. You look at this list here, and you don't have but 63, and you're like, well, I want 64 or 5 or 66, whatever. Alright, so you're going to go back to your map, XML, your i3D rather, open it, and you're going to click Control F and type in farmland. You're going to come to this area. Just keep hitting farmland until you get to it, because you'll start up top usually, and you'll have to hit it a couple, find next till you get to the bottom of this. Then you're going to highlight this and you go all the way over. You're going to right click, hit copy, then you click at the end, hit enter. You're going to hit put it back to the beginning, right click, hit paste. You're going to change this to 64. You're going to change this one to 64. You're going to hit save. Then you're going to go into your editor. You would have to reopen it probably. Yeah. We're going to close the editor. We'll say yes just to get it saved. Be done. Oh, well, it might change my yeah, it took it away. Did y'all see that? When I saved it, I should have said no. So now I got to add it in there again. Add it back in there since they're taking it away. They just trying to make me work harder. Alright. Put it back on 64. The whole point in closing it is because it needed to update it in the editor. And then we'll hit save again. Sorry about my dog making noise. And now we'll open it up in the editor again, double clicking. And we still got to add it in the other area, but first I want to show you it here. Let it load. Alright. Alrighty, now we're back in here, and we'll roll down to here, and you'll see we have 64 farmlands now. And now, if we wanted to, we can add another farmland. So I guess since we did it, we need to do it and put it in here. So let's put it in here. We'll probably put it over here somewhere. Turn it on. Are we on there? Yes. Okay, we'll just leave it on round. And put it in here, and we're not even gonna do it all, we're just do this little section, and we'll say that's 64. Now we're gonna hit save, and to err on the side of caution, we still have to add it to the XML, but to err on the side of caution, I will put script and then create a new ground collision map and then save it again, but let it do its thing. Be patient, don't rush it, let it do its thing. And I'm not sure, like I said, how crucial that is exactly, but and some people, it may not have to be done. I don't know. All I know is it's what I've been doing. So now I'm going to hit save. Let that do its thing, and then go back to the XML and into the Farmlands XML and add in number 64. Copy. And then we're going to hit this at the end of here. Enter. And put this at the beginning again, paste, put it to 64, and hit save. And now we're going to go in there and we'll have a 64. Now if that doesn't work and you get an error, you may have to up the num channel to 6. And you can also change your price scale on these here, right where it says 1. You can put it at like 0. Whatever, 0.5, 6, 3, whatever. 2, you can put it on 2 times the amount of money. Price per hectare, which is acre basically, and you can change this one according to what you actually did. So if you put your BGA stuff, if you want it like this one and you put one on field 11 or another field, add that, however you need to do it. And you look on the Alpine Farmlands to do more, see more options with this kind of stuff as well. But anyway, we saved that. I'm going to go in the game the last time. Hopefully everything's good, and then this will be the end of the video. I hope this helps you with Farmlands. I hope this channel helps you, and you smash that like and share the video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I appreciate everybody very much. And we're just going to move right along. Try to get through with this. I wanted to show you all this stuff so you can understand it. But always check your log to see what mistakes you've got, and you should be good to go. If you miss something, you probably missed putting a path in, or you just don't ever know. Alrighty, now let's hit this and let's go see where 64 is. Turn on Farmland and see if it worked. Okay, so it didn't work. It's there, but what did we miss? We missed something. So 64 did not work. Oh, so it might be that 7 I was telling you about. Well, let's go see. Let's go see. I'll have to look at the log as well. So let's do that real quick. I don't know how real quick is, but let's do it. See what it tells us. Alright. Hopefully I'm not passing it. Nope, wait, what's that? Nope. All that's normal stuff that you see above, so don't worry about all that. And here we go. Number 64, not defined in Farmland. Okay. Not defined. Let me look. Let's go back to here. Back to mods. And double check the Farmlands. 64's there. Okay, let's change it to the 7 and see if that works. Alright, save it. Let me make sure that we go back to the i3D again real quick and check and see that it's there. Yes, it's there. So that should be good. So let's try it. And we did save that, right? Save it one more time. Turn that off. Alright, let's go back in and see. If not, we'll just go ahead and call it a video because I don't have time right now because I don't want to make the video too long. Let's see if that worked. If not, but you get the point. I'll have to do an updated version showing you that extra little bit since it's extra stuff. Because I had it working earlier with no problem, so I may have just overlooked something. So let's see what happens. See if that took care of it. We'll see. We shall see. Alright. And Farmland. Yep, that took care of it. I had to go up to the num 7 and now we have 64. So there you go. That's troubleshooting all the errors and all the information you need. Hope this video helped. I'm going to go ahead and call it a video. Please smash that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.